What is up, guys? Fancy Charmander here, and I'm bringing you a different kind of video. As you know, there's been a increase in trends in Pokemon runs with a certain Pokemon only. So I decided I wanted to do a Fire Red run with only Charmander. Yes, that's right. I'm doing my mascot from the channel. It doesn't sound as hard. I've seen other people do Bonsly runs. I see people do Magikarp runs, but I just wanted to start off with my mascot, of course. Alright, so of course I don't have to randomize the game since we do get Charmander as a choice. And I like it because, Squirtle is a water type and makes this challenge a lot harder. You'll see in the future. It does get harder, very harder. So I'm here battling the Squirtle, but the Squirtle happens to hit me with a crit tackle. Caused me to, good thing it's not Nuzlocke. Anyways, later on in the game when I hit Viridian Forest, I did encounter a shiny Weedle. And of course, even though I didn't have any HM moves, I had to catch it for my team. And it became one of my HM slaves for a cut. So we're here to face Brock, and of course Charmander at level 14 gets Metal Claw. And did Metal Claw really come in handy in this match? Of course it did. Even though he was a rock type gem, he didn't really hit me with rock type moves. It was mostly normal type moves that barely did any damage. So I was able to defeat Brock really, really easy. Alright. And I went to level 15. I did have Charmander hold on to an Everstone throughout this playthrough, so he doesn't really have any competitive items. The next one I fought was Misty. And I taught Charmander Mega Punch. And at level 22, I didn't survive a Water Pulse. Next up, I faced against Blue again, or my rival in this matter, Casey. And I see that he didn't involve his Squirtle either. So it was an easy battle, not gonna lie. As you see, I struggled a little bit. I almost, of course, died. But overall, it was a really simple battle. I survived with 5 HP. Didn't use a single item. I did level up my Pokemon, my Charmander I mean, to a level 27 to face against Misty again. And I defeated Staryu like no problem, just like the other time. And I can survive one Water Pulse now, but unfortunately he still outspeeds me, so I wasn't able to take it out. So I did increase Charmander's level to 36, and I defeated Staryu like nothing. And now Water Pulse is a 2-hit KO, so that means I can survive 2 hits from it instead of just 1. No, I mean it's a 3-hit KO, my bad. So, and then the move that came in clutch in this battle is actually, believe it or not, Flamethrower. But unfortunately, I didn't really beat her, but I actually found out that Flamethrower does a lot more damage than my other physical type moves. So I decided just to spam Flamethrower, and actually got a critical hit on that. So I'll take that as a win. Unfortunately, it took me forever to beat Misty, so I was too high level for the next couple of gyms. So next up is Lieutenant Surge. I actually just swept his whole team, as you see right here. Even though I got paralyzed, it didn't really matter. That Flamethrower came in clutch. And did that crit matter? Probably not. Next up, we went to the SSN, and we faced against our rival again, Casey. So, we easily defeated Pidgeot. Here comes the War Turtle. We 2-hit KO him, makes it easy for us. Eradicate. That's probably the last time we're ever going to see that Pokemon. We probably killed it. And every Pokemon, basically the main opponent basically was his Squirtle. So next up is Erica, and as you know, Grass type gym has nothing against a Fire type Pokemon, so I easily swept her whole team. Next up is another battle. I believe I was at the Where was this at? It was on the, I believe it was, what do you call that place? Lavender Town, I want to say. So I easily swept my rival's team once again. And then next up, in the game corner, actually, I fought against Giovanni for the first time. I was a little scared once I saw the Onyx at first, but then with Dragon Rage at an early start of the game, made it easier to defeat everyone. You know. And then Flamethrower, like, absolutely comes in clutch. Not gonna lie. Next up, we faced against Koga and his Poison type Pokemon. This, I thought was gonna be an easy battle, not gonna lie, until that Muck came along. You know, the Minimize didn't help. The Poison, the Toxic didn't help. The Sludge didn't help. Yeah, so I had to face him against maybe like about 2 or 3 times. I think 4 times. Like coughing, I defeated him right away. It's just that Muck. Even though I have a Dig, a ground type move, I figured it would do like some damage. I almost defeated Muck, but it was not enough because of that freaking Hyper Potion. And then I just realized I didn't have anything to heal my poison just now. So right after this battle ended, when I got defeated, of course, I got some full heals. And I tried seeing if that Sludge will miss for 1 turn, but unfortunately it did not miss at all. It was accurate, and I eventually went down. And so I faced against Koga once again, hoping I could take him down. I did increase Charmander to level 60. Hoping that I can defeat him once and for all, and then that Minimize just didn't help me at all. I finally ended up defeating Muck. So I went ahead and started healing up against Coughing in hopes, you know, I can actually beat him. Because I believe the next Pokemon after this was Wheezing, I want to say. So the Flamethrower was a 1-hit KO just like the first Coughing, and then I was hoping it would be a 1-hit KO for Wheezing, and just survived by a little bit, and then we ended up killing it once again with a Flamethrower. And then we actually defeated Koga. Took me many attempts. Next up, back in Saffron City, I faced against Blue. Even though there's a crisis in the Silph company, he decided it was a good time to battle me, I guess? I don't know what's going on there. So this is the first time we faced against Blastoise, and I was scared. Like, I was down to 21 health. Fortunately, he didn't have Hydro Pump at the time. All he had was a water gun, so I was able to take him out. So yeah, as soon as I defeat Blastoise, his team is basically done. Next up, we faced against Giovanni at the Silph company. This is my second time battling him. Fortunately, you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I did end up teaching Charmander Brick Break. I figured it was a better move at Metal Claw. It does more damage and it also has an additional effect of breaking Reflect and Light Screen. Even though I didn't really encounter that problem at all in the game, but it was still a useful ability to have. So we ended up defeating him easy. We talked to the Silph company president. He was so moved by what we did, he gave us a Master Ball. And what do we do when we had a Master Ball at a young age? I probably played this game when I was 8. We caught a Pidgey. And then next up we faced against Sabrina. And nothing too big about this team. It was just an easy sweep like the rest of the gyms, except for Misty and Koga, which were my problem gyms. So yeah, we were able to defeat her really easily. Next up we have is Blaine. I figured I was gonna have a tough time since, you know, I'm a fire type Pokemon. I'm not gonna do that much damage. So luckily I still had my dig, which I did end up getting rid of later on in the game. So we were able to sweep his team, just like normal. It took a little bit longer since I couldn't really use flamethrower that much, since his whole team resist. Rapidash gave me a little bit of trouble when she had bounce, so I just counter her with a dig. That way, when she gets down, hit her with a dig and finish her off. I think the only problems I had was maybe the Arcanine and the Growlithe. The double Intimidate didn't really help me that much. And then we were able to defeat Arcanine, no problem. Next up, the last of the gym leaders, Giovanni, and the last time we fight against him. What can I say about this team? Really easy to... It was fairly easy to defeat. Like, Flamethrower just wrecks his team, especially since I'm level 68. This is just a massacre at this point. To be honest, I thought this was going to be my toughest challenge. Next one, I faced against Blue right before going to Victory Road. Yeah, so he has a Rhyhorn. The problem I had was Blastoise. One was because Flamethrower just didn't cut it anymore. So I decided to go to Celadon City and invest in some items, some attack items. So I got some attack items. I figured I can use it all when I face against Pidgeot, since I can easily take his attacks, no problem. Since for some reason he didn't use his sand attack, which I thought was strange, I guess. Okay, so I healed up once I got 6 stages of attack stats, and as well as a dire hit, might as well. So I started just slashing my way through the team. Luckily I had a Brick Break as a physical move as well. And then Slash was a 2-hit KO, it was perfect. And Blastoise made the first mistake in using Rain Dance. I wasn't planning on using fire type moves, which was pretty good for me. And I was able to sweep his whole team. Last but not least, the Elite Four, the Greats. So the final moveset I picked was Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Slash, and Brick Break. The reason I have both Flamethrower and Fire Blast, I'm limited to 5 PP, and Flamethrower has a lot, and as well, Flamethrower has, well, it has a better accuracy, 100, like I believe it was a 95 or 100 accuracy, compared to Fire Blast's 85. So just in case I face against a Pokemon that has Minimize or Sand Attack, I can take it easier. So what I basically did, I figured, Laurel, even though she's an Ice type master, she has basically all water types. So I figured, Brick Break was my best shot. The only problem I probably had was Slowbro, I would say, but luckily I was 6+ attack and I was able to just slash my way through it. And the Jinx I was debating on the Jinx whether to use Brick Break, or I figure Slash will be better because it's a high critical hit ratio. Next up is Bruno, and that Onix scared me, so I went ahead and did an X Defend because I figured all his moves was defense moves. Luckily I was right. All his moves were physical moves, sorry. And I was right. He had Earthquake, and that Earthquake didn't do nothing to me. So I decided to just slowly try to raise my attack stat. I figured I was just gonna use Brick Break and Slash throughout his team. And not gonna lie, this battle I literally hit full restore in the perfect timing, because if I hadn't done a full restore, I would have got KO'd since there was a critical hit involved. And I did notice that every time I go into the yellow, Onyx would always use Earthquake. So every time I go to the yellow, I would use full restore. Anyways, the rest of the team was a breeze. It was nothing too crazy. Onyx was the biggest threat, and I took it down, no problem. And there we go. And then next one we have is Agatha. Fortunately, we couldn't use physical type moves because the only ones I had was normal and fighting. So I have to rely on my special attack stat. So I slowly increased my special attack stat. I noticed he had double team, which was scary. This is one of the reasons why I had flamethrower, because I had a higher accuracy, just in case something like this happens. Fortunately though, flamethrower did land, so those double teams were useless against me. And just the rest of the team was literally no problem. That Intimidate Arbok didn't do nothing to me. And just fire blasted my way through. Don't worry, I had a lot of elixirs throughout my journey. I didn't really use any elixirs until the Elite 4 now. So next up, last of the Elite 4, Lance. I figured this is going to be my toughest battle yet. I'm probably going to lose. Gyarados, a water type. Wow. I literally expected the worst, but all he did was Bite and Dragon Rage, which was really fortunate for me, not gonna lie. You know, I thought it was strange, but then I saw that Hyper Beam and I was like, holy crap, I'm dead, man. I'm dead. But luckily he didn't have any water type moves, so we were able to slowly increase our stats. You know, the Hyper Beam was always scary every time I see it. Yeah, but luckily it was no problem. I did end up putting a Dire Hit and maybe a couple speed stats just in case. Right, and then we were able to sweep his whole team basically. The Aerodactyl was actually a lot simpler than I thought. The Dragonite literally survived with a bit of health, but went for a status move instead of a an actual move to take me out. So I was really fortunate on that. Dragonair didn't stand a chance, and the other Dragonair didn't stand a chance either. Last but not least, Casey, our rival. Literally my hardest battle. I knew he had Sand Attack, and I had this item that prevented stat lowering moves for 5 turns. So fortunately, I took advantage of that and started increasing my stats, my attack stat, my special stat, but just my special stat. Sorry. And fortunately, we were sweeping through his team, and that Blastoise did not stand a chance against that Fire Blast. I was extremely surprised, as you guys are. Yeah, as soon as, like I said before, as soon as you defeat that Blastoise, game's pretty much done. Unless you get crit, and that'll suck if I got crit right now though. Right, and then the last of his Pokemon was Arcanine, which was no problem. I figured I was going to do a Fire Blast, and luckily that took it out. No problem. And there we go. I ended up defeating Fire Red with only Charmander only. I did use other Pokemon for HM Slays, but I never actually used them for battle. Fortunately, it was a tough challenge. It took me about a week to complete. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to hit the like and hit the subscribe button for more. Suggest to me in the comments what kind of challenge you would like to see in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.